Felicity from Get Your Rock Out here talking to Bruce from the Pineapple Seed. How are you doing today?
Not bad in the grand scheme of things. It's lots of stuff happening, so keeping me interested.
Wonderful. And you guys, there seems to be quite a lot of things going on at the moment. I don't really know where to start with it all. First of all, you've just brought an EP out, the Build a World EP. And so why didn't you tell us all there is to know about that?
Well, it's one of those things that the label, because when we recorded All the Wars, our last studio album, we did have a couple of tracks left over from the session. It wasn't because they were crap, it was because they just didn't fit. And the label was just what they've always looked at. Our label, K-Scope, they're really obsessed with getting physical product out and like getting it in, because every time we do a release, you get more people hear it and you get more press and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So we just put like the 5 tracks it was, wasn't it? Yeah, EP together just so that people would hear all these tracks. And also we got to use Mark Mawson, who did the cover for All the Wars. We also had that picture that we kept, the sort of, we call it the mushrooms, because it's such a striking image. So it was really nice just to sort of put a lid. I think that really closes the All the Wars saga for us, especially with the gigs coming up. I think that's sort of, and now my head's sort of focusing on the next album.
Wonderful. I mean, the next album, it's going to be immense. You're collaborating with Jonas from Catatonia.
Yes.
Which, I mean, how many of you, if people were going to put a couple of bands together, it probably wouldn't be you.
Well, I know.
Well, how did you two kind of get to meet and think, you know what, this is a project that we really want to do?
You know what, I have no idea how the whole thing came together, because I think, because it's been such a secret thing, and I think the label only just announced it last Friday. And everyone on the web, you see the comments, everyone's going, what the hell? You know, it just doesn't make it, it's quite a bizarre pairing on paper. But I think if you listen to a Catatonia album, that, you know, Jonas's vocals are so delicate, even though it's like singing over really, really quite heavy material. Like Catatonia is still very sort of heavy and sort of light at the same time. And in a way, that's very similar to the Pineapple Thief. And I think it was, we had this project going for ages, and it was the label, because the label have Catatonia as well. Sort of, we're label mates, even though they're on Peaceville. It was their idea to get us together, and I've always been a fan of Jonas and Catatonia since I first joined K-Scope. So getting him, flying him over to my studio for a week was like, I was like a crazy fan. It was like I couldn't believe that Jonas was in my house. So it was luckily, and it was quite. And we were both a little bit apprehensive about it because we didn't know if it was going to work, how long we'd need, and if we'd get on. And but luckily, it went so well, and it did. And Jonas, you know, his singing vocal tracks just came together so quickly. We just spent most of the week cooking and drinking beer and just telling stories. In fact, Jonas is the best storyteller, so I just sat there listening to his stories from all the years of Catatonia touring. I think that was brilliant. Yeah, it was a great time. So. And it just works so well. It came together so well. So I can't wait for people to hear it now.
Oh, that's really, really good. I mean, it would have been a bit of a nightmare if you got there and you'd realised you actually didn't get on at all. And
it would have been a long week, I tell you.
Yeah, never a good thing. And so, I mean, it's, you know, I'm really, really looking forward to hearing it. There's a release date. The release date I've got penned in is June 3rd. Am I right on that?
That's right. That's correct, yes.
Fantastic stuff. That is going to be, you know, I just can't wait. I mean, can we expect any guest appearances on stage between the two of you? I know it's a terrible thing to ask.
Well, yeah, I can't sort of say for sure, but I know that we are definitely. I can say that me and Jonas are talking about it, and we're both really keen to do it. But I know Jonas is just about to pop off to the States for a couple of months with Catatonia, so he's so busy with Catatonia that it's really a case of fitting around his timescales. But I know he's up for it. So I think if the album sort of sells and gets out to people like we're hoping it will, then I think more than likely, I think we might hit the road with it.
That is an absolutely fantastic thought. I mean, what have fans been like to the idea? You know, you said you've had quite a lot of comments online. Have they been mainly positive, or are people going, oh, I can't believe you're doing this, what a sellout?
No, I haven't seen a single negative post. And funny enough, really surprised how many people are fans of both bands. Because you get people say, oh man, Cheers my favourite artist, oh my god, it's like, So yeah, I mean, I think people, hopefully, and this is what I'd like to think that if you've got a negative thought, then just keep it to yourself. If you've got a positive thought, then yeah, share it. So I think Jonas emailed me the other day and said, oh, it's a really great response because they've had a really good response on their Facebook page to it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's I think everyone's surprised at how many sort of fans there are of both bands.
No, that's really good. It's completely not the kind of crossover audience-wise you'd imagine at all, but it's people around the world. That's wonderful. And when you started Pineapple Thief, I mean, it started off as a solo studio project back in the day. Did you ever expect that this kind of thing would be happening? Was it one in a different...
No, that's the beauty of it, is every day is like a little adventure. When I started, I think I was on a tiny label, and I just thought it would just be a one-off thing. Let's just try doing a solo album and releasing it and going, there you go, I've done the CD and then put your feet up. But it just kept ticking over. It was like every album there was just enough few people were buying it to say, oh, actually, let's do another one, and it's sort of slow upward trajectory to the point where we soon outgrew our last label and we got onto K-Scope, and that was a big moment I think there's one moment where we sort of turned into a band. That was it. And then since joining K-Scope, that's just gone up and up and up. So it's almost like it got to the point where even if I wanted to quit, I can't, because it's just doing too well to quit. It's not like. Yeah, so it's I think I'll be doing it for some time. But no, I had no idea when I started that it would I'd still be doing it now, and and also have Jonas and Catatonia in my studio, all that kind of stuff. It's brilliant.
Wonderful. I mean, you're sounding really positive about it all. If you had to pick the moment, if there was a defining moment where you thought, what, this is what I'm doing, if that makes sense, what would it be?
Yeah. I think.
Wanted to mention in the interview, Yeah,
that's fine. But no, I think I can pinpoint it, because we would, like you said, it started off with just me in my lonely little studio, never seeing anyone. And then we get enough fans to get a band together, and we spent years playing toilets all over the place. I mean, we played a place, this pub, which was it was like something out of Spinal Tap. It was turned up, and there's this blackboard out the front, which was the Pineapple Thief spelt wrong, plus barbecue. And it was and we turned up, and it was just skittle alley, and there wasn't even, and it was just, I think 20 or 30 people turned up. They were fans. They were like, where the hell are we? And it was, and you're just thinking, and then a couple, I don't know, it must have been about 3 years of hard graft later, we were touring around Europe, and with the first club that we played, I think, it was where we turned up, and there was a dressing room, and there was a fridge, and it had beer in it, and there was sandwiches and crisps. And you're thinking,
no way.
This is amazing. We're a band that turns up with your guitars at some grimy little pub back room, and and doesn't get paid, and now we're in this club, and 300 people were queuing up outside to watch us play. And
wow.
And you look back on that and you think, well, that's rubbish. We need 1,000 people queuing up. We need 2,000, 5. You're never happy. But that was the point where it was like, oh, thank God, that we're finally sort of broken through it was a definite jump from going from pub to club, and that was the moment that we made that sort of crossover, and I think since then we haven't looked back really. So that was the point.
Oh, wonderful! And you've got a few dates coming up in the UK later this month as well.
Yes.
So yeah, hugely excited about the UK tour.
Yeah, thanks.
And you're doing a couple of unusual things for it as well, and you've been telling fans to choose which songs you'd like to be recorded acoustically.
Yeah, well, I knew what the answer would be, because I've seen some of the results so far, and I know that there's a couple of songs that fans always, the real hardcore fans always shout out. And but because I've got a studio at home, and it's luckily, because we've made a bit of money and we've been doing it for so long, it's turned into a really good studio. It's really easy for me to do acoustic versions.
Wonderful.
Thinking, well, so I've got it here, let's just do something a bit different and give something to the fans. The only thing is that you always get people going, oh, you can't come to the gig when I don't get a copy of it and things like that. But go do something else for the other people.
Brilliant. And so if you had to pick one song that you think sums you guys up best, I know it's an awful thing to ask, what would it be if you were going to say to someone that had never listened to you before, this is the song you should listen to decide whether you love us?
Yeah, it's really hard because like there's so many elements to the pirate because there's a commercial edge to us. There's a melancholic edge and there's a hard edge and a heavy edge. It's like, well, which one would you pick? Because of that reason and because I always like the more recent stuff, I'd probably say Last Man Standing off our last album, because that only just because it covers all the bases. It's soft, it's heavy, it's got the orchestral bits in it, it's got the psychedelic bits in it, and so if you're going to check us out, check out that song, I'd say.
Fantastic stuff. In the next kind of 6 to 12 months, what are you hoping to be doing? Obviously, you've got a fair bit coming up, but what else that we don't know about can we expect from you?
Well, I think we've got the UK tour, then we've got a few festival appearances in the summer. Then really, and it's what I'm doing now, is head down and we're writing for the album that we want to come out next spring. And what we want to do a big proper tour for the album next spring. So that's really I think these UK dates it's almost like saying it's the last time we're going out before hibernating and working on the next album.
Oh,
then of course you might see me and Jonas out,
Oh, that would be
if it all goes right. Yeah.
No, I mean there's so much scope to play with as well. I mean, the new album, are you thinking of any guest stars on that? Have you currently been plotting stuff?
No, I never do, because I just write with the band in mind. So, but it's you never know. But the issue about guest things is that it's playing them live.
Yeah.
So we do tend to keep the Pineapple very insular. We're very selfish when it comes.
Okay, well, exciting times ahead. I'm sure that something will happen that'll
I hope
throw you a complete curveball, and we'll be having the same conversation in a few months, going, well, yeah, we didn't mean to, but then these 12 people got involved, and
yeah.
But brilliant. So basically we need to really get down and catch you on these UK dates.
Yes. Yes, because then we're going away for a year.
Terrifying thought.
Yeah.
But it'll be well worth it, I'm sure.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, and you're thinking next spring for a kind of release date for the new album?
Yeah, so I think the plan is that I'll finish writing sort of by June, July time, and then rehearsing, and then I've got to speak to my string arranger and sort of book studios and all that kind of stuff. So it's all good fun, but no one ever sees it, so it's all done behind closed doors. That's the problem. But.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today.
That's okay.
It has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
And hopefully we will see you on a date at some point very, very soon.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That's brilliant. Have an amazing tour, and we'll catch you soon.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.